start by welcoming everybody again to this second session, online session of the PRINTeL project, of this video course for emergency scenarios. Today we have a very interesting session that will briefly go through some of the concepts of video usage in the university context. The first presentation of today will be about the importance of video quality. It's very, as video is much more used today, it is getting more and more important to have good quality videos to deliver to students. So this first session, this first part of the session will briefly go through some of the concepts that make a good quality video. The second part of the session will focus on the usage of video in higher education institutions, mainly when talking about public exams. Public exams can be the final step for a student to get his degree, master's or PhD degree on a university, or even for a teacher that will join the teacher corps, the faculty formally. This can also be a public exam. So the second part of the session will focus on this, the challenges that arose, and what we had to do in order to make everything appear a bit normal using video. So it will also be interesting to share some of our thoughts and also hear from you guys what you have done at your institutions.
Backgrounds are quite important. You should have a clean and organized background. And you should avoid a poor and uninteresting background like an empty white wall. If you are trying to communicate something from your home, you should do it meeting the personality of your environment. So avoid empty white walls that might be boring to your audience, and avoid also movements and distractions in your background. In relation to the acoustic conditions, we can talk about the space. If it is a too wide space, you might have echo. And also be aware of your pets. If you are at home, prevent your pets from entering room. And if they are barking dogs, you should try to match your presentation moment with a walk of the dog outside for not disturb your presentation. Ideally, you should have no noise in a room or a very isolated acoustic room for your presentation. But bear in mind that if you keep your doors closed, it will be very helpful for your presentation.
The easiest way is to use some kind of video conference room. Okay, the Zoom is the most trendy right now, but you have WebEx, you have also Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, and so on. Okay, the difficulty here is that most of these applications, most of this software is suited for meetings and conferences. So, for example, Zoom, you have Zoom meetings, but you also have Zoom webinar, and these are different pieces of software, or they are related. And most people have only access to Zoom meetings, which was supposed to be for people who know each other, team workers, colleagues. So people, you should never be able, let's say, you should never give the link to access to Zoom or whatever to somebody who is not part of the group. When you want to make it public, then you have a different scenario, because you can have what's nowadays called Zoom bombing, right? So you have people coming out of the blue, doing things that can be prevented or can be controlled, but not prevented. So one of the drawbacks of Zoom is that once you give the link to access this meeting, anyone can enter. No matter, you can stop them, you can prevent them from entering using the waiting room. But once they are in, you can't, for example, prevent them from showing any video. And this is, let's say, not only unpleasant, obviously, but from the let's say the public's view of the university, a very sensitive issue. So you don't want to have a PhD examination occurring and then suddenly somebody is doing some nonsense on the video. No matter how many people you have there watching the eyes, there is always a small chance that somebody is doing something they shouldn't.
Opportunities. Make bureaucratic processes simpler and more effective from now on. Record the Viva. It allows anyone in any part of the country or the world to watch the PhD Viva. In summary, the emergence of diverse unexpected problems and great difficulty in understanding worldwide from health, economy, employment, education, social habits considered as immutable, work, sport, such as those COVID-19 brought us to all without exception, can, even in the middle of tragic situations from the human point of view, bring us some windows of opportunity to change to a more simplified, environmentally less aggressive, and individually more comfortable way, a work model that would otherwise, it would run the risk of stagnating and conflicting with the new realities and requirements, more or less positive, that even pre-COVID-19 times already imposed. We, human beings, are very much what we share. We are delighted to be able to share our experience with you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pedro.
What is entirely online is when you have a jury at home or in the office, you have a secretary and we have a candidate, and we use Zoom. Each one use a connection via Zoom, and we will provide a live stream via YouTube. Why we use YouTube? Because we have a scoop channel on YouTube, and it's more easily for us to configure Zoom with YouTube, and I will explain next why it's more easy for the faculty of the science. The second scenario, it's mixed. We have the jury or at the faculty or at home, and with the candidate most of the time on the faculty and the secretary. I don't know if you know what is the secretary. Normally on the PhD we have a secretary support all the PhD exam. Normally in the master we don't have a secretary. It's the president of the jury who do the role of the secretary. What the secretary do and or the president of the jury do, it's to initiate the stream to the YouTube channel. Okay. First of all, I will explain the three stages of a public exam. First, we have the public session of the Zoom in the main room, where all the members of the jury, the candidate, and the secretary are in the public session on the main room of the Zoom. Second, the deliberation, when the jury have to decide if the candidate are or not. It's the exam, the PhD exam, the master exam. We have on the breakout room the jury and the secretary, and in the main room the candidate. On the first stage, we have the results announcement, and all the members of the jury and the candidate and the secretary go to the main room and announce the results.